Nana Kwame Bediako na award nipa pina ekwa tetimu pao amani pampempema wale agu odia sampa spiritual and herbal center awo wama yade se wombe muwenya basisi a yade bi tise stroke gonorrhea anabama waye mre e wampamu low sperm count wamu wanu adro tatahwe ene gisam se seba ne sunsumu nsema wamu telete se ye sunsumu aware anasa yare bi ne yade amawo pampabone anabo ana wanya abai amane e court case wobetu charge osisi a enam omadwuma panti ni pampempem ene be fo bukofie ekoye sunsumu nyuma edemom se mosini ene enzimani akabom dia sunsumu niema asie betu obi aje wukunu anasa woyere awaresem adwumasem akwantuom nsem nina ayasumasem fabadan odia sampa spiritual and herbal center obehuyan of
New Koforidua ejoso ne konongo infinfin aye Ashanti region ehon ma number aye didi dwuma no aye 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421
Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. You be do us some amount.
Alright, I'm Shama Mama Papa, Odia Sampa TV. I am Musumfu, Odia Sampa Ni. Trading upon a beer pioneer millionaire with it, but you say, oh, eh. Abushia, and ye bedin como afa, Nana Kwame Bediako, ne policies are our edema on my Ghana and como. Yan can say no what I say, a manifesto. I say Nana Kwame Bediako ka say I was say you change the narrative of our political scene. A choir if so ye amarion sermon I was say yes son and I'm so up to date say uyo bia say adwenu mu edra honom now ye memfa say 99% mind sounder. Obeti Nana Kwame Bediako ase because or say on promise it, but will deliver. No cranson because was it yes, the narrative of our political scene. And Panso was some share presentation way this you can say manifesto Obama and a extraordinary, in fact, a historic in Ghana history because we see that what Trump no say. Assassin na yete so na yaya asase and we steady assassin no etifi apoe atoye anafo bentoye atoye tese babia onim ne ayede ewo honom and even eba ne say ekwan a dredge na okan ye betumi aye na mehwe bra Kofi bi and Kofi TV kwa be say Tase dredge na wokan ono prefi na nadwen abaso na nsuo ni na ankasa no they are already connected. Just say barrier kakra bi na gum a be break those barrier na atim then we are free to go. Enti enra in fact me share program ni na the dubri bi a na maye emotional because I was like enti again pa na si Ghana Timamfo no kwan say on bette Nana Kwame Bediako ensem a okan ase ya ye yina ye di adanse say wo hwe Dr. Mahama and Bawomia wo hwe JM omo ani so omo ni bibi papa bia de ma my Ghana sisi ani o ma ye ni say we criticize we na we criticize we na Mahama kojina ena se utwa ntra ye bisa asama no ahya ase stammer na froso na Bawomia so akojina ye mpe enkokon nkete they don't have anything for us abushia ye be reaction to ne ekoso ewo honom ye nyina ye brofo nye but ye bobo ye homodin say ne ye betumi bia no ye be ba mu na ma enti ase aye adwuma wo free so wo so wadwen se bia wo ewo bibi won ebia na matumi aka wo so be che wadwen ewo comment section no ase afi so mesro na ne dedican wa shi Odia Sampa TV so subscribe to channel no share na like it invite afoforo na mmeka busuakuo no me no ka say bia na ye be ma o me ma sem enko yie awo ho da adwene e ha wo ba anase be ma low sperm count obema ni ma ye mbre e ban say stroke asthma diabetes hepatitis B aya sunsuma asam dia me se me kan ho asam e wo media so why ye ho na ma from dia wo so wo ye niema enko yie emfa ma wa fa number na egu ase ho no 054 330 4976 yen share reaction no as I send ye na dada na
Challenges we face in Ghana and across Africa are significant, but they are not insurmountable. Our country is rich with untapped potential, brimming with natural resources, cultural heritage, and most importantly, the indomitable spirit of our people. Our greatest asset lies not just in the abundance of our natural resources, but in our ability to self-industrialize, the economic revolution that promises immediate balance and widespread class prosperity. This is no small task. It is a challenge that has eluded many before me, often deemed unsolvable. Yet, in this moment, we face an undeniable decision that must be met with courage and wisdom. Talking is no longer an option. Action is imperative, and it must be swift. In a country where the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy, we stand resolute with a higher purpose to build our nation and restore our rightful heritage. This policy is not just a vision, it is a call to action. A blueprint for a future where Africa claims its place on the global stage, not as a continent rich in untapped potential, but as a beacon of prosperity and progress. Let us embrace this challenge with the urgency it demands, for the time to act is now. Thank you. So I would like to start.
Abushia enti ne Nana Kwame Bediako ka kire ye ne say Oman Ghana a ye ti mu no and a whole Africa no eye oman a sika aba ne say natural resource ene ye friend sika no abu omu say chabam enso ni nyina agu onum sa obi anya den emfa ne nsa emfa enka and enye natural resource ne ko and I say human resource no kran say ni na natural resource eba ne say ya kasa timamfo na yegu oman ne mu kran na yegu onum chabam waste enye say aye waste o but egu onum a untouchable I say nipa na kasa function no kran no en function because yen ye what the youthful population no enya adwuma and eba ne say natural resource no so na okọ the 16 regions na ni nyina no abre egugu wonom saa ai akra na eye adwuma na akra so no abre because population no anase pressure ni nyina ekogina ewo ehonom we ene ade a ono wahu a enu nti opese oye de oba na obesolve e de emaye although admit say enye simple task and enye simple task because if you cry no all draw your attention to in the air higher ye nyina ya ni tua kra no eno kra ye ya ma na ye adwuma kese e na ade ama no nti enye simple task we ena o kan wasa mo say it's time I was say ye jai say ye nyina ya da ho no mudi the natural resource ni na egu ho no ma ye nyusu na mfaso obi a enye den emra so no ye nkenya ye ho sorry ye nkenya ye ho na ye start say ye betunya ye den aye na ebetunya ye bia apegja the industrial platform no e de asi wonum ama ye man no aye active ebiem enti se betunya ye active ebiem so a enye kasa Ghana for ye pe kasa ye mfa action emfa nya adwuma because ya na yɛ criticize npp nyɛ ndc nyɛ den na yɛyɛ afa ho ɛne asɛm no kasa yɛnyɛ action nti it's time a yɛma yɛ kokoromoti no nyɛ dɛ ɛnyɛ adwuma a ɛsɛ ɛfata ɛno ɛne asɛm a Nana Kwame Bediako ɛyɛ dɛ ɛka akyerɛ yɛ in fact mese nea ɔyɛɛ no deɛ ɛyɛ marvelous and yɛbɛtry yɛ best sɛ yɛbɛbiebie mu nkakra ne nyinaa yɛnya yɛn ho ɛnte aseɛ nti na meka sure sɛ biribi wɔ hɔ nam so ma ho anaasɛ mamfa nhyɛ a comment section no ɛhɔ ɛyɛ wo deɛ twerɛ ne nyinaa fa gu hɔ no if possible kora na sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ menya adayɛ na mbɛkan ne nyinaa so a yɛbɛkan ne nyinaa ɛde agu screen no so ɛde ama wo nti yɛntoa dwumadie no ɛso.
So I would like to start. Maybe I should go to the screen. And I would like to start with, as you see right now, you can see that there is an organogram with me beside it. In the middle of that organogram, you can see the apostolic governance, the 12 ministries. The 12 ministries will be responsible and accountable for these 12 pillars. We start this policy presentation, which is the developmental agenda, with pillar 1, the 16th regional industrial revolution. Well, as we already know, there are 15 dormant regions and 1 region that is choked. But we're about to revive the 15 and bridge it with the 1. I'd like to start with a video.
know what. All right, so that was the first video of the Industrial Revolution. All right.
This has started the 16 regional industrial revolution. It's supposed to bring back the 15 dormant regions that we have left for so long and we haven't done anything. But tonight, I would like to unveil all the potential minerals, arable lands, and all that we have discovered through the research within the 15 regions to Ghanaians. Now, as you are seeing, we start by making sure we invest in all these 16 regions that is industrial plants to be able to refine all our minerals, and then the processing plants to be able to process all our agro plants. So I would be able to take my time and take you through our research on attribution reserves shows that gold, iron ore, gas, bauxite, and lithium and diamond, the potential of agro processing and all the arable lands in the country amounts to 2.5 trillion US dollars. This is the outcome of our research. We are determined to bring out every region's wealth. So as you can see, we have searched every region inside out and realized what sort of wealth that can be created there and projected it in the next 10 years. Ghana will have an economic output at 4.7 trillion with the 13 million hectares of arable land and all these minerals. We will also create 8 million jobs in a decade. Now let me look at some of the places. I've already showed you Volta region. Maybe we should look at Ashanti region. Can we play the video for Ashanti region? We could see another region. So as you already seen, Ashanti is 240 billion worth of gold, minerals, lithium, and arable spaces for us to create the biggest potential of farming, agro processing. We want to become exporters, not importers. Let's look at Western region. Let's look at Western region. I think Western region is by far the richest region, if not in Ghana, on the continent. So you just saw Western region. It's one of my favorite regions. I believe that this region is going to become the Texas of Africa. This is where we are going to have the most industrial plants with the most minerals, the most agro products to be processed, and is right next to the coast. We can supply Africa and even supply the world. We have to take the Western region very serious. 420 something billion, it's something for us to take very serious, because one is going to create all the jobs in the western side and even bring people from other parts of Ghana. We are going into wealth creation, and I want to do this with you, Ghana. As you can see, wealth creation comes with job creation, but we produce 200,000 barrels of oil per day in Ghana. We sell this, and then in fact, we let people extract it, go and refine it, then we go back to Europe and buy this same product premium and sell our fuel at 15 point something cedis per liter. All we have to do is build our refineries, and we will have competitive prices, and we will save the losses in the economy, the inflation in the economy, just because of industrialization. As we can see also, just our oil can also produce us all the petrochemicals. We don't need to import products. We need to export products. The more we import products, the more we drive our economy out of this country. The more we export products, the more we take in other people's economy into our country. And the more we would export, it means we have created jobs. You know, this is going to make Ghana become the powerhouse of Africa. Okay? We cannot do agric without the culture. Now you can see that we have a lot of farmers in Ghana, but we don't have the processing plant to process the farming products. So we do the agric, but we don't do the culture. The culture is the 7 times of processing one product, like cocoa. It can be chocolate. It can be cocoa butter cream. It can be a shampoo. It can be so many things. And there is the brownfields to create other things from this one product and create more jobs. As you can already see, 800,000 jobs per year within these 16 regions. That makes it at least 50,000 people getting a job in a region. I mean, I'm being conservative with the 8 million jobs in 10 years. But to be honest with you, a machine, a plant, is the only thing that can give you jobs in 3 different shifts. 8 hours times 3 a day. That is what I call 24-hour economy. You need industrialization. Who sells Gary for 24 hours in Makola? The women in Kejetia and Kantamanto cannot work for 24 hours. It would take a factory. It would take a plant, a production line to give 3 shifts a day. No industrialization, no 24-hour economy. I have brought you your economic freedom. With all this potential, how do we connect our regions and transport the supplies on the industrial scale? That takes you to pillar 2. We've just
Abushe.
And in fact, Mr. Nano Besh and Monfanchame say, O my Ghana, ye what Timamfua, Sabio, majority no adrin a year Juma. And I'm telling you, say, Dr. Mahama and Bawomia, a John Dramani Mahama, almost standing by any chance to compete with Nana Kwame Bediako. No crepa na make sure no. Say, ye won't conform was sound mind. And yes, Timamfoni no, but if say, ye were even 70% of sound mind of the people in the country. And I'm telling you, say, Dr. Mahama and Bawomia, John Dramani Mahama, they don't stand any chance so ombe compete with Nana Kwame Bediako. Because representation a warrior no wohonume. Ye hear anka enkofo a brilliant idea with action na oma compete with Nana Kwame Bediako na no na be cho sa anka ye man no ebe run fast ebe ka se ye 100 meters enso sebisebio esan se ye woti bonkoso fo nkofo e wo man no mo doso echen omo madwemu da honom no omani abienti and Nana Kwame Bediako struggle to compete with these 2 political party leaders are a dear name. You know what I'm saying, Ami? Obia onya president and you. Excuse me. Onya president and you, and so we study the geographical area of this land. Assassin was study assassin. Elhu bia ni nisika a ehyem plant a ye de kɔ hɔ no ma ebeboa sika a ɛwɔ region wei sika ɛwɔ ha wei na ɛwɔ ha no ye betumi de ha supply other countries. In this presentation we and Nana Kwame Bediako bisa ho pa say President Ben yeyi osage for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah free one man. And as on that time no crying, you compare with Nana Kwame Bediako dia enye ye because osage for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah time. And this time enye pe na hwe enhyehyeye arrangement and Nana Kwame Bediako aye how are your presentation no kra and they be am ka say re say we are say who face problem now to me identify problem now 60% of the problem is solved. Akase ode action be shame then the 40% no is already done. Into with presentation Nana Kwame Bediako chiro oka importation ho asem o my Ghana na ye mo board ama anka ye te hanom say Russia Ukraine war nti comedy ye we mamu hanom ma ye sika asem enko so ewa bra we have all the resources anka omo kontokwai mu dia monyelo mo wona mo nko na ye atu nduane ma mo say mu nduane na ye to mo na ye te hanom say sabio ye mu bebre na adwen no anya adwumanti no ye te hanom mo say Russia Ukraine war na last Kenya president Ruto akotena international meeting na say ka say because of Russia Ukraine war nti ne farmers enya fertilizer ne farmers enya way nti aka farmers na to the extent say obi oti ekrase kram say Russia Ukraine war amekoma ba we mo sabi o hwa adwen no etikosem o hwa adwen no etikosem ewa bra ye wo hanom a ye betumi even fertilizer organic fertilizer hwe inwura ni ade a ye twagu daily ye betumi process we ina de aye organic fertilizer apostle ko Joseph Okrate anu pra obia emfi no meanwhile o de medabia America me say anka yemfa ne say oye nadafo oye ntrofo and wakatro say my fertilizer ya digu body ase ya ye we body no kra tumi so ma hane ha utumi twa inti no ye say ope etwo obi a watu two no ope no ene na hoto a no ama ne sapo eni seminar o de sapo ni seminar mana so watu two eno so wontu two inti unya ma ne sapo ni seminar obedware ye behu say ampa watu two anase wontu two ti na mpefo say ope etwo no na hoto a no ama ne seminar ne sapo inti anka mo de se mu fi say bia oboa montwem ben no okay nyuma pa wo ya no man mu de ye ba be support fertilizer den ehia ye nkwala no train bi na ye te hanom ebi ene ade a Ibrahim Traore ye no woni kuro mu a wo ba as a foreign investor being a technology wan anasa wan na wo ba okay ye no ba ye adwuma negotiation wo be train me nkwala ase omone ha we for aye da arrangement no waso bi akọ Russia ye te hanom nsɛmhunu na yɛntimamufo na ankasa nso no pra enti na meka ho yɛntimamufo na ankasa adwen no timamufo no yɛadwen no yɛte ha ɛna ade a yɛnim yɛ ɛna nanado ne hwan yakɔtena shape mu ɛno ɛna yɛde ada ne topic nsɛmhunu Mahama ne Tracy Boahye papa no nsɛmhunu nkwasi asɛm kwa na egu man mu anuma yɛdi intimi enra mitie Nana Kwame Bediako chese mitie ni duru bia na me hwa mesi we Nana Kwame Bediako presentation we a wo ye no hai kwasi broni ati ne kurom obo ne nsem ma no bibini te ha ohun ye wo kire ohun ne se akwa we kra concert be na ogina honom ye mabuni kra de adwen na da ma chese mesi ushia mabunu na nra as a young lady na meni ni di nkomo na me kire no ne be ma nani aba na ho so on the sika ye de sika de po on fa sika ma ya nto aba na ma me try say bia me educate no enye se me agreement kra de ehun nya se me no obi be gira ya agreement me try say me educate no aba na Ghana betumi aye ye bi Ghana dey into me the mentality of our black people no representation na Nana Kwame Bediako ye we steady asase no and hwe nnwuma ye betumi akreti enti ni nyina so enye so oboa o no kre sa nkwase se bose ya mokọ jeji ena ka mokọ kra na ka moma ye de mamo ye kan say technological machines kra na okay ye ya adwuma tua ho kan kanyansa wo mokọ jisika ne ba na mo de abeto ka asa kese na mo totofie wo nkofo kuro so na ye mese Ghana ye mabunu no as time nkwasiafo bebre na doso leaders a mo no wo ejimi mo but wo kan leader na sama na obe attack o miwa wo no na ye ejimi no so na obe attack o ye holding pay for na accountability ni ye kan na obi ti baabi because I media me asantini because I media me ye bunu ni inti no eni say ye holding me leader bi a ofri asantimamu accountable and say eni say ye holding me leader bi a ofri bonomamu accountable jimie sa edi e de leader ne so an say oye leader nenso no bibi papa bia enfri ni mu emfa ma eno na polumba ka say ye from honorable but omo ye horribles because oba ya anuma assembly man for bebre MP for bebre the only thing omunim say wedding bi aba no atutu agum bebre no akosi wonom jolobi na wadi agimi din ye MP we dia we your wedding na wabo no ababo yi a no ababo nsa tesa wa ye bia ma jimie sa konkofo krom na akọhwe eyiye kora duru wono ma abusuan na yi no motwahia kakra na oma ye ehu awufu amamre na yi kakra bi na omko mbali ye de ye invite MP ye invite minister no we na chese oba na chese eyiye na ye kra behwe asu nipa ne ti asokra no na ekom ede no nanka Ghana ye de Dr. Mahama and Bawomia ena John Dramani Mahama ebe compete Nana Kwame Bediako abai leader ye be bia nnwuma koka nnwuma ni bi mi enti a ye be mama nkokọ ni amama ye be mama akokọ buo ni amama nkokọ and we so di akire na obo say hey Ghana we are in popular too ne so nti illustrations na wo kire wo no ekwan a because region we na who videos na otwa ede kire ye no and videos na wo twa akire wo no o kire say region we into the CCR no ye behia 38 industrial platforms you can say machineries ewo ni video ni ma na wo kire mu eno won say ye ka kire we John Dramani Mahama see 24-hour economy o mechire mu no then oye no akotam watch Ghana pa no akotam watch and dey abetwene ne nchen ye the watch just say 24-hour economy to the watch abisi wono on 24-hour economy no wo hwe Nana Kwame Bediako breaking a simple down 24-hour economy, and this 24-hour economy no, is going to be in three shifts to say shape because say we start here juma 8 hours we so be 8 hours now we so be 8 hours na ye ko ye nim and without industrialization there's no way we can do 24-hour economy and I know what you say one who say obi atena KJT market aton gari from anapasa to the next day 24 hours na nine ain't not possible but with the machines no yes machine no produce intend akuyamansa ya ye gari na guonom akuyamansa ba abe package ya shepi biko akuyamansa abre for 8 hours ya manu so aba ono so abeye eno ene ye friend 24-hour economy no ba nya watch abeba be na ona wa 10 no na nipa eye presentation we me say presentation no kwampon eye enough and so on my Ghana say ye better papa we ye nua be mai ase nya to abama no eye asem aguso ya to aso pillar 2 no na fa the breakdown na fa mra because ye hwe na ekoso wo man na so okasa obekasa ma ade ache emobo nkofo kuro mu ide hyehyɛ pa guhonom omodwen ahead they are thinking about 32 years to come. They also mutumi achieve. Ghana politician watumi adwen 4 years, and the 4 years no adwen more man no adwen on the political party. Yeah, mo board am. Yeah, to aso.
Well, we have just finished with Pillar 1, and I would like to introduce you to Pillar 2. I want a nation to give me this moment and pay me this attention, because this is truly a vision, a policy, a developmental agenda, and with or without me, it must be applied. So let's go to Pillar 2. Pillar 2 is the water transportation and interregional railway connectivity. This is Ghana's first water transportation. Now, as you can see, in the olden days, our fathers really had respect for these natural resources that we came to meet. But today, we don't have value for it anymore. We have to remember everything that we eat from on this land is grown by the water on this land. And there are so many regions that we can connect to by connecting the water. So let me tell you my vision about the water connectivity infrastructure. Now, one thing that I can see in this country, Lake Volta is the largest man-made lake in the world. Why are people not visiting Ghana to view Lake Volta? In fact, what have we done with Lake Volta? I mean, you have billions of dollars sitting in Lake Volta. Maybe we'll talk about it later. But our national grid of water transport, it's something that we should look at. When we look at maybe even going here and pointing to some of these things you're seeing here, okay? And I know this brings us to the moment of the sea coming to Kumasi. But as you can see, this is Cape Coast right here. And this is the Gulf of Guinea. So I can enlarge it for you to see. So this is Cape Coast. Right here, this River Pra. And I'm so sorry to mention what has happened to it, but we'll get to that. River Pra leads all the way to Ofin and goes over there to Anum and goes there to Birim and to Koforidia. So here is Kumasi right here. Okay, you can see it. Now what we have to do is something called industrial dredging. You can go back and look at countries like Egypt that have used and dredged and had canals that generate 9.4 billion a year. The canals are meant for a lot of things, and the water transportation are also meant for a lot of things. The irrigation of this country for all our plants and all our crops will need industrial irrigation. So we need to do it one way or the other to support the system. The ferries, the cruises, the leisure, the transportation and the logistics that will move all the industrial products that we are about to manufacture will be pooled on this water. Irrigation and purification and logistics is one of the most important things in this world. Now, I can tell you that Ghana imports almost 89% to 92% of the things in this country. How did it get here? At least a fraction of 90% of that came on the water. So we need to make use of our water. It's very, very important. It will bring so much for tourism. So with the support of us connecting all this water together, we are not only going to have an industrial scale to support the agriculture, but also we will raise tourism and we will have the biggest distribution channel that connects to the coast. And the coast can connect to the world. We intend very soon to supply the world with what we're about to industrialize with the 16th Industrial Revolution. Now, not only that, I know I've been talking about waters, but I know that's not the only infrastructure that you need for transportation or for logistics. The railway network is part of our vision. Our vision is to develop a comprehensive railway network exceeding 8,000 kilometers. That is 1.5 million tons of steel. It will be very difficult to import this from outside. That's why we have our eyes on the iron ore in the Industrial Revolution, and some is in the eastern and some are other parts of Ghana. We will be able to manufacture our own steel and create that 8,000 kilometer railway track that will cost us billions of dollars if we had to give it out on contract. And connect and build the eastern corridor, the western corridor, and guess what? The gist of this vision is to also drive the railways to the three borders that faces Ghana. The one in Togo, the one in Burkina Faso, and the one to Ivory Coast. When it gets to the edge, we stop. That is us creating new transportation and logistical path and not remain on the colonial roads that was built for us. Now we're making our own paths to distribute our own goods. But when it gets to the border, the government of that country is responsible to continue. This is going to give us a railway and a speedway around West Africa. Once every country continues from there. Well, I'd like to tell you something. It's likely when we get to the border, Ghanaians will be contracted to continue the railways. Because guess what? We will have the steel, we will have the skills. Just like what the English did to Europe. Once you have the skills, once you have the funds, and once you have the reserves, and you have industrial power, you're in control. And so, this is our plan for Pillar 2. And as you can see, the water connectivity is important and the railway connectivity is coming to that. Now, the moon needs the sun to shine, right?
Abushen, this time around, obi biara na obeka kyerɛ wo sɛ ana special wa wo ya santini a obeka sɛ na Nana Kwame Bediako epo a oso wode beba asantima mu ha no no odi asantefo ho frɛ obiara no sabi wa asantipa na wo ya aboa na yam sɛ nipa adwen a ye frɛ na adwen ankasa no ebi enda wutirim because already wedi kan akyerem and this time around no what the map ato honom akyerɛw from Cape Coast rivers edwan nia edi ebesi but ade ba kwa ya Ghana for one favoritism nepotism and one no ni nyina yeka tribalism no na ekuye because say yes ebeba asantemamo no omaka ena yenuanom asantefo ni bi so ede ato omotiri mu say ai ampa so obedi ya ho few wan kasa wo hwe ye map na me say Nana Kwame Bediako ankasa ni so ade hunu a wokuta no ho hwe with river bodies and I say industrial transportation on the river bodies, you know. Aside that, railway asemi asɛm we odikan kan yɛ abra ɔkɔ tamale sa video no mahwehwɛ mpɛsɛ me yɛ reaction to mihu odikan kan before so ɔkɔ tamale asa na ɔbɛba bɛka we wa ha o ewie na Mahama bɛgyina ya a ɔdua n'anum a ne nkɔɔfo bi a na ɔmo abɔdwe sɛ yi bɛ ɛbɛtena asɛ na Mahama sisi no and ohwɛ railway no ɛkwan a the way ɔka si ebesi a constructing na take say no bɛwɔ pirate ne mu sɛ ebi so a me na mede bantam mo so dia ekwan a ebefa so connect na ma na kokodru ya borders and ade ba akwa ewo mu na obi anya hu ye ekodru ya borders mfa se Burkina akodru wo hono akodru Togo akodru Cote d'Ivoire because ye no mu ina share borders a it's up to those government to continue and to continue no ye ne edi kan aye ekwan ba na mfa so ye metals ni ade ya na produce ya ade no then you best supply with them and no best plan sense so generate another income aye dey amai ye nya visionary leader see nti nsuo no aye be connecting na o kire omu e kire emfaso kra na ye benya afri san nsuo na ye be dey ye be connecting no emu ye benya irrigation system e dey afrim aya na obi se na nche no wo mu na dey no ni na ne se na muref vortic any ade omo no me if say the right thing no mo ya because I get to know say there are so many pure water omo ya omo far from the sea na omo process eji enchono no enyina e dey free anything na ye ka say education system na kasa e scam no because ye wonyama bebre won ma ye kosuan ro school mu kra na omo ame ya nko deep say na be ya ye beti ase no an say ye ti classroom no na omo ka kire ra na ni etualo school fees board the ni ase abetina ya na oh inti or talking about insuo ye bema yensuo aye adwuma and or catch us say the man-made lake you can say water lake no anase lake water no eda ho no mo no and no kra no ponu we have a lot of potential no so kra ewo ma ye ntachi o ka say ye betachi no later on and near my manager no say we na or the atowo as a 10 years developmental plan da ben and the one say san kofo we mo no ebi abaye me say omo madwea kwa akire no and no kra na say ne dey akwa akire to the highest level a ye hu ne say bi abe 40 years na beba 8 years and send him di kan no ye mbede o man no ye build a political party and it is a free SHS near say the beba near the aba zuguma ye to foundation no ye refi say dan bia so no ebegina ejina foundation so ye to foundation near ye finishing Nana Kwame Bediako the way I was illustrating with the maps and with the ideology all concerning the pillar 2 no near or yes first say na ni na no ebema ye transportation and we no other countries no beba betua ho sika because over now be exporting near na because ni na ne industrial platform and all kan ho asem nti waba obe exporting near na enya afei na wudi begu ka mu na hwi akogu tema na wasen akoyi ni na ansesa asantima mu hanom a goods and services are open wa no pa walo do ship hwi ukrom because unya koto Cape Coast opon man dey opon dem a hwi ukrom sometime no akọ flow do we niama the same thing as yanso anya dey yanso e be import bi just say ne Nana Kwame Bediako kire no the rate of importation no enso beti na ma the rate of exportation no mom na so ebekọ soro ekwan ya ye fa so kra niama ba ekuro mu no enye se ye nkra niama mba ye bekra ba be so beti ba kwan ye be fa so ama niama akọ no na ebedo so nkofo be firi omu nkuro so aba be fa bi wa ha ma ye den e de akọ and ne Nana Kwame Bediako so ekirenti a all can about this water bodies no ye wo machineries ahodo bi wo ho no ma entumi fa wie enam kwan so a bibi o Accra road you there yan yete so yan anim omutume de car bi pa na enam so na escort pra na escort load no escort no koja load na other cars crash she escort no mama chi a escort car no escort those private cars and the passengers cars because load na nkasa na car no so na nkasa heavy ma kwan no and akwan just kwan nti no small car bi nya chance bi also yi hye nanim saa nti na escort no kwan ayera nti sa yade a saa ya connect ya river bodies ni ade na adwuma a we no eno ante ebeduru tama harbor anasa yen fa harbor no then straight enye afi ne ekọ offload o enam nsuo no so to the rivers na ya connect na ni aba beduru ayi a simple eno no beboa ma ye kwan na ye congested no ne ho boto no and railway kwan so a walk no ebi so nam train kwan so na ebi nam ha no ma I think say kwan no ye betumi kra go to the extent say ebenya abobo ya kwan moto kwan enkoba say petrol tank na mu abobo ya na mu timbaka na mu we na mu na we ere enam eno na ade na Nana Kwame Bediako ka ho asema ye Ghana for say bi say bi adwen no wo for mu nti ye mpese ye beti na say na kanye saa enra a Nana Kwame Bediako be kasa aye no anka no anu no eni se Ghana ye sign kra ha ye ho ne ye kasa biom eno an say NPP NDC mo pe ba bi la ye nya leader a owo anisuade hu no na ka ye de mana ne ya hwe obi nso a oseme so me wa adwen say Nana Kwame Bediako de me be ye ne chi no ama competition papa aba na enye enkokọ ene toilet ho asam de ye pe de mom ye pani odwen da agese e de ma oman no ye nto aso nko pillar 3.
The moon needs the sun to shine, right? So does the pillar 2. It needs pillar 3 to thrive. So let me introduce you to pillar 3, and that is our developmental policy 3. Energy city and a technology hub. Energy city. And I know most people haven't probably seen this, but Energy City is built in countries like Bahrain, Qatar, many places. That's a consolidated energy resources and pipelines and big offices that connects with all mineral resources that produce energy. So our Energy City is definitely fit to add value to our industrial vision, to be able to create more megawatts, to be able to create more substations when we tap into our gas pipelines, be able to use our gas and our water. As you can see, there is hydroelectric power plants we have to expand. There will be wind farms, there will be solar farms, thermal power plants, such as natural gas and biomass power plants. Our energy sources will need to meet our industrial demands and the demands of our people. We need to build pipelines, and it's very important. I mean, when I say pipelines, pipelines across the regions to support the energy system and the infrastructure. But all of this is great to do. Ghana, just remember, we need even to move with a larger step going forward. I want to say this: 640 million people in Africa do not have access to energy. I don't know if you know this. It's more than 50% of Africans' population. Well, let me use this opportunity to introduce a subdivision idea behind this policy or this vision, and that is introducing the nuclear power plant in this country. We will be one of the main people and one of the best in the world to have taken this idea and implemented. The nuclear energy is rare in the world, and more so in Africa. But we have a chance to establish international relationships. We also have the chance to now trade uranium with Niger and Namibia. That's connecting already to be able to build this. We will position ourselves as the heart of Africa. Nuclear power plants does not only reduce the cost per kilowatt, but it just makes electricity affordable, visible, accessible. We need this because they have it, but we don't. And we're struggling. More than 50% of us, we still don't have light in 2024 when we have uranium sitting. No energy, no technology. But technology is a must. Ghana needs a technology hub. And that's why we've combined technology hub with the energy city. When I say technology hub, I don't know if the old school will really understand what I mean, but I would have to break it down. Okay? It's a combination of Silicon Valleys and a whole industrial platform. Okay? To build all technological gadgets that the world demands. Everybody today is holding an iPhone, or they have a laptop, or they have a tab. But we don't produce these things in our country. We have the minerals already. We have lithium. We have recycling plastic. Going into industrialization is going to give us the capacity to be able to build our own mobile phones and our own laptops, and we can produce our schools with laptops that will teach them what we want them to learn right from the beginning. We are in control of our destiny by producing it ourselves. And it's there. We just need to make sure that we put these plants and get this energy and produce these products and do this packaging and trade it to the world. That is creating jobs, creating value, and being in control. See, one would think it's only mobile phones and laptops and electricals that you need when you're building a technology hub. No. Data centers. Our data centers are very, very important. So we intend to build more data centers, okay, to support the technology hub. But when they talk about data center, a lot of people think data center is just to store information and data. No, it goes beyond that. We want to position ourselves for the crypto farming in the world. So what our data centers is going to do is that it's going to start mining digital coin, tokenization. We will tokenize. We will mine digital coins. We will mint. And I know the young people, the youth understand where I'm going with that because they know they're the future. This is the future of finance. And it's trillions, multi-trillions of dollars. We need to tap into this industry and have the power for them to create demand from us. This is going to make us become the gateway to the multi-trillion-dollar Web3 industry in Africa. This technology hub is going to put us ahead. We envision that Ghana leads the software revolution in Africa and the hardware revolution in Africa. We need data centers, and we do, to even support our artificial intelligence and deep learning. It's obvious that no energy, no technology. That said, without industrialization, there will be no digitization. It is impossible. Hashtag, it is impossible. No industrialization, no digitization. Let me take you to Pillar 4. I know you're...
Abushin, me sure say at this point, what in Yentia make us say anka o my Ghana, sebi you, yawo nipadodo a omukuta sound mind ewo man ni mu a anka omundi Dr. Mahama and Bawomia ene John Dramani Mahama echi no me sure say at this point what am I say obi a wo ka hire wo say ye betumi because with the resource ye wo no ya nka say ye betumi a produce your phones, your laptops, your tablet, any all those technological devices any obi a wo ka hire wo say ye betumi akọ freebie e wo other people ho no mo no sa nipa mienu we hwan na ye di nachi memi fie ye beye na ye nkoto aduane banchi gu ho bode gu ho mankani wo ho kontomble wo ho bibia wo ho ye nkoto no abonten ena obi se memi fie de da bia ye ya ne aso aye chense ni akogina obi so de ma ebi ye baba betua ne nkakra sa nipa mienu we hwan na ka obedi nachi Nti Nana Kwame Bediako kyerɛ yɛ sɛ power energy yɛte electricity no kwa na yɛ demand ɛwɔ so and ɛno na ma meka kyerɛ wo sɛ ɔkaa sɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛ connect a because saa Mali anasɛ sɛ Nigeriafoɔ ɔmo ɔyɛ mmerɛ fi deɛ ɛno na supply France for electricity na ɔmo da sum mu no ni nyinaa sɛ yɛbɛ connect and yɛbɛ connect pipes into the region na ɛbɛma yɛn ankasa na yɛbɛtumi produce energy because ɛno na ɛbɛboa yɛ ama yɛtumi improve ɛwɔ yɛka no sɛ yɛ technology ne yɛ industrialization no ɛho because sɛ yɛse yɛyɛ industrial hub na electricity no kwa no ɛntumi ɛmma yɛ all the power no nti unim like dream ni vision a Nana Kwame Bediako ekuta no woka sɛ wo kyerɛ mu kra wɔ yɛ ayɛ kasa yɛ mu kra na ayɛ na ɛden because nneɛma na ɔka no ɛno nti na da bi ameka no me say wei kwasi broni te hɔ ɛbɔ ne nsam ɛde ma Nana Kwame Bediako and nkɔfo a adwene no mu abie no de elitefoɔ no ɛte hɔ ka sɛ da bi akwa na adwene ekuta no ɛyɛ serious ba o Ghana ni ɔte hɔ ɔhwɛ ne si nti akwa wei kra adam kwasa asɛm na ɔkeka ne si sao because ne Nana Kwame Bediako ɛka ho asɛm no it hardly for the average Ghanaian so ɔbɛte ase Ghana for mako bi na ɛte wei na ase o na nka nyɛ saa nka yi saa sɔfo yɛ friend sɛn sɔfo yɛ de bia no ahyɛ de twa hwɛ wɔ asɔre dem na ne nkɔla yɛ pijani a wɔne boy yi benya bifi wo yi ɛbɛka sɛ ɔman a yɛte mu a agyimufo ɛdɔɔso sɛ anyansafoɔ yes to nipa gu na asɔre dem mu because saa nkɔfoɔ ni nyinaa no sɛbi o adwen no ɛwɔ fam nti na awurade na sɛ we are yɛ phone yɛ bɛkɔ akɔfili phone na yɛtua no 1 cedi 2 cedis ɛwɔ hɔ but ɛnyɛ no ne yɛ ha no mo na even battery kraa no just battery a yɛde hyɛ radio remote yɛde hyɛ remote to see saa battery we ɛkraa ɔman mu a ne yɛn produce bi no ɛnyɛ no wokɔ amanɔne a yɛ saa hyehyɛ no wɔ hɔ but ɛnyɛ yɛ deɛ bia a yɛ mu no kraa ne yɛbɛdi kraa ɛɛden ma yɛ no nti Nana Kwame Bediako ni study no nyinaa ne sɛ yɛ bibi ha no yɛbɛ industrialize no na ɛno ɛna ɛbɛboa ama economy a yɛsu ho digitization nti wɔka kyerɛ yɛ sɛ without technology no there's no way a yɛbɛtumi ayɛ digitization ɛyɛ no kora so na digitization nti na make us say these people no they don't ɔmo nyɛ ɔmo adwene sɛ ɔmo bɛde ɔman o nemom ɔmo bɛde political party nti adeɛ no ɔmo bubu so data kora mpo yɛntumi ntɔ data system kora yɛntumi ntɔ and ni nyinaa so na Nana Kwame Bediako yɛ de ɛbɛkyerɛ mu yɛka data ɛnyɛ bi a praise a yɛbɛ store information nko data go beyond that nti digitization ya yɛde adwa yɛ so ma de adwa yɛ so ma digitization ni ɛno ɛna nipa a onim ɛne so no abɛkyerɛ mu yi ɛde akyerɛ yɛ no ɛnyɛ ɛne yɛwura Dr. Mahama and Bawomia digitization ni ya ɛyɛ Ghana card a obetumi de atu kwan no ya nkasa kra na ɔman na ɛwɔ mu kra yɛntumi nkɔrɛte data no a ɛwɔ mu no nti foreign companies te sɛ MTN foɔ ɛna yɛ ɔmo gye information kra ɛde efiri ɔmo hɔ no Ghana abusua sɛ na ɛbɛyɛ video ne wa no yɛde we besi anom ne react to the next video ebi kra the next video ne ɛbɛyɛ ne sɛ sepila wa na ne yɛ ho reaction na yɛ post nti mesro sɛ ube stay tuned na afei so no obɛkɔ so ahye video no ama me free sɛ obɛhyɛ wadwen ɛwɔ comment section no ase wɔ no afei yɛnua ba a ɔwɔ UK ɛyɛ di nokre catering service ɛba no sɛ adoring birthday party wedding bibi biara a woyɛ biara no invite na ɔbɛba abɛbɔboa sɛ ɛyɛ local dishes continental dishes anaasɛ aduane biara sɛ bankyɛpesie bɔɔdeɛ pesie fufuo mankani bayerɛ ɛba ne sɛ ɛyi anwonafoɔ akpere no koraa na ɔpɛ koraa na ɔde fa ne namba no na frɛ no ɔbɛba abɛprepare ne kamakama ɛde ama afei nso no festival no adu awie and ɛnyɛ ɛno nko a yɛpɛ sɛ yɛtumi extend yɛn ho because first na mfiri sɛ t-shirt na mmoa but me a mehyɛ aseɛ sɛ mehyɛ bi no na ho sɛ ɛboa wode nam koraa obi ankasa tumi ɛfrɛ wo ne wabisa Nana Kwame Bediako ho asɛm yɛn nkɔfoɔ bebree a wɔayɛ fed up with NPP and NDC but who ɛna ɔmo hu other option nti ɔmo frɔ ɔmo bisa Nana Kwame Bediako ho sɛ wokyerɛ ɔmo mu a ebi mo enya ntiaseɛ obi nso wɔ hɔ no ma na ɔdi man di sika nti no wadaroma nkwalaa no deɛ no ɔmo print a ɛkyi na ɛbɛyɛ ready nti the next video ɛyɛ part 2 no mu no mede bi bɛkyerɛ ho bɛhu sɛ ne yɛsi ayɛ atare no deɛ me ana mafa ho ka mayɛ no kamakama yɛatwerɛ agu akyiri if you think about our future vote for Nana Kwame Bediako nti wo so support bi a wobɛtumi ɛde support ebi a wo idea bi sɛ ebi a yɛ print wei so na sɛ ɛnam society ne mu a ɛno nso bɛtumi adrɔ nkɔfoɔ bebree attention ɛde aba ne so ɛno no ɛbɛboa nti fa number na egu aseɛ hɔ no ebi aba na ɛna apɛ sɛ ɔde support sɛ ebi ankwalaa ne deɛ so na mede bɛkyerɛ na apɛ sɛ ɔde support a emu biara no o contact me a na wakyate me so ebi a me nso mepɛ sɛ me support with this amount number no yɛ 054 330 4976 Macron.